in 1973, when I was 3, my brother Larry was murdered. And so here it is, starting from my grandfather's lynching, it just keeps going and keeps going. And if not for my birth, my mother said that she would have probably taken her life. She already, from what I was told from the neighborhood, people who supported her, that she was just out of it because Larry was beloved by so many people in our community. And I share that because we moved from that side of town because I kept, every time the doorbell would ring, I would run to it and say, Larry, Larry, Larry. And so here's the trauma revisiting again.
Wow.
We moved to the west side of Detroit, beautiful neighborhood, but dangerous.
Right.
You couldn't tell,
Right.
but it was dangerous. And I tried to be this kind boy who I was. I loved art. I loved playing the guitar and, being creative. But I had to pick a side. And my father wasn't there, same city, just wasn't present. He had his own wounds. And the gang became my big brothers. After my older brother moved to Texas, Sinclair, the gang. I knew not to go so far because, inside of me, it was like, I don't want to put my mother through that again. But I did a lot of foolish things and things that I regret to this day. Kids who were kind, I would have, I never like bullying, but just to be cool with the gang, I would sell out kids who were just friends of mine who were nice. You see what I'm saying? And I saw that like, wait a minute, what's happening to the culture? And then the music, brother, every album cover, no one smiled. Rakim was one of my favorite. I ain't no joke. E40, what was it? I practiced looking hard, and so all of that shaped me, changed this kind-hearted, loving, full of joy, loving my mom into someone who became angry, frustrated. Me and my mother, at odds because she didn't want to lose another son. So anything I tried to do that was a little risky, not as far as like dangerous, but where it would take a chance, she would like discourage me. And so here it is at that pivotal age for most boys, 12 years old, grades are plummeting. My mother and I are not getting along. She wants to get me on medication because no one really understood how negative rather, the father wound can be in a young boy's life. And so that's what shaped me into, this hardened young man. Became a DJ, real popular in 1986 in Detroit. A rap group was called Chaos and Maestro. We did concerts with Public Enemy, X-Clan, who was Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff when they were together.
Oh, wow.
So we were really popular. Then God started calling me at like 17, brother.
Okay. So wait, you were pursuing music.
Absolutely.
You wanted to be an artist.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to be the best DJ, and I was, I think, one of the top in my city, definitely, easy.
Yeah.
But then I started making beats, and that became a goal. You see Jam Master Jay and all of them, like, I can do this, I can do it. I finally had an identity where I didn't have to be the killer, but I was the guy who orchestrated the music for the killer. So I was...
You could be connected to it.
They called me Maestro, because I could always rock the club, and I was just like, all the music. So all the gang members would love me to DJ their parties.
That's crazy.
And so it was a way for me to stay cool, but not necessarily become a gangster.
Which is tough in a city like Detroit, because Detroit, like you were saying, beautiful neighborhood. Historically, Detroit is like this was the land of promise, and you got all this opportunity to work in the factories and to work in the car factories or whatnot. Of course, then there's an economic downturn, and that affects the culture. It can get chaotic, and then you got everybody's mama and cousin moving from Mississippi. They may have different motives and different intentions, and so you get that hodgepodge. And I could imagine it's a cesspool, obviously, for a lot of different activities. Plus, you're still dealing with barriers that keep people from becoming who they would like to be. So you are in the music space, right? And Detroit has a rich music history, you know, from Motown to even the hip hop. You go all the way down.
Yes.
It didn't work, or did you stop, or what happened?
I kept going, brother.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I had produced songs for Chris Webber.
Okay.
You know, because I was a popular DJ. So when he was going to University of Michigan, him and Jalen Rose called me to DJ their party.
Okay.
I didn't follow sports, so I'm like, I don't know you guys, but it's $400, you know? And so I remember Jay Rose, he was like, well, man, can you just come on, man. We just want you to come and hang with us.
Yeah.
So when I walked in, we was at the Renaissance Center, which is like an iconic building in Detroit. And I never seen human beings this tall in my life, in person. And me and Chris became close, and I started producing music for him. And I actually did a song with Corrupt and him called Gangsta Gangsta that charted Billboard, I think, in the high 70s.
Oh, yeah, I remember that song.
Yeah, I produced that. And then I did a song with Redman on Chris' album as well. Yeah. The turning point, though, brother, I'm glad you brought that up. You know, every studio has a kitchen, like you do. And so it's an area where you can go after you record, you can just stop for a moment, eat, and just talk. I'm sitting across from Redman, and we started talking about religion. And at this moment, you know, I had given my life to Christ, surrendered my life.
Were you raised in the church? Like, how does it?
Well, my mother, we went to church, so I was in church, but not in Christ.
Okay.
You know, I was actually, man, you're bringing a lot of memories now. I would skip, so when my mother she was singing the choir, so when she would go up in the choir, I would go out the alley and go to the arcade down the street. And what was interesting, brother, I had a dream. That same alley, I would go out and play the arcade games and come right back before she get out the choir stands. I had a dream that two deacons grabbed me, because I was in the basement, grabbed me, took me to that same alley and pointed down the alley and said, look. When I looked, I saw myself at a podium preaching, and it was clouds behind me. And I couldn't discern the dream at the time, but one of my spiritual fathers told me, God is going to take you out of the four walls into the alley and the highways and byways where people are hurting, where you can preach the gospel. So that was scary to me. And I didn't, you know, bro, I know you know the journey's like he calls you and you run until you get tired of trying to do it your way, then you surrender. Yeah. But back to the Redman conversation, I started ministering to this brother because I had given my life over. And we was talking about Islam, metaphysics, and Egyptology, and then Christianity. And I remember his manager comes in eating lobster tails like this, like out of his hand, saying, you can't listen to Magi, because I changed my name from Maestro to Magi, because Magi was the wise men in the Bible. So here it is, I'm still trying to hang on to the world, but still wanting to rep Christ. And he said, you can't listen to him. He just made the track with you talking about women calling them hoes and bees and all this. How he gonna talk to you about God? And they both horse laughed me out the kitchen. And in that moment, I said, you know, I'm gonna pick a side. I was never one to be a hypocrite anyway. And Corrupt and I really appreciated him during that time. He was at the height with Dog Pound, and I said, man, I can't do music for you guys anymore. I told all my friends in Detroit. They were like, why not? Why not? You just making the beat. You know, that's what people were saying back then. I said, well, no, I got a vision that my music is the gun. Your lyrics are the bullets. When we come together, that trigger squeezes and kills a mind. So I have to make sure that whatever is in this gun will bring God the glory. And so I left it that day and never looked back. And that's when I started the Union Records Christian hip hop label. Yeah. Yeah, and that's how that came to be.
That is, the gun and the bullet analogy is crazy.